All right, now we move on to Module 5, which is backwards marching. Probably the most difficult fundamental to teach and gain uniformity because it's not natural to march backwards, just like it's not natural to walk backwards. And usually most bands don't spend as much time on backwards marching as they do forward marching, and then therefore that's usually one of the weakest aspects of their fundamentals during performance. So we're going to talk about the various ways. Now, one of the traditional ways of marching backwards, which is beginning to change in some bands and drum corps, is up on the toes. And now, when we march backwards on the toes, what makes a difference is the height that we're up on the toes. So first we have the tip of the toes. If we go all the way in the tip of the toes, that's for when we take small steps. And then a little more relaxed, a little closer to the ground where we're sort of on the ball of the foot, then that's for moderate and medium-sized steps. And then almost a flat foot is when we have to take large steps. So we're going to demonstrate by having them turn around, and we're going to teach how we get into our first backwards marching, and we're going to do it with the toes, and we're going to start with a high toe with a tiny step. So preceding the first step, we lift the bodies up on the tip of the toes and take one tiny glide step, one tiny tip of the toe step backwards. Okay, so we go with the brackets again. Always the brackets. Ready? 1, 2, 3, lift and step. And let's just be one step, okay? We'll try it again. One tiny step. And let's do this. Why don't we define at ease? This time, let's just go to the heel. Take one step the size of the back heel, okay? That's how small. Ready? So we're going to take one tiny backwards march. 1, 2, ready. Lift and step. Okay, try it again. Smaller steps, Steve. 1, 2, 3. Lift and back. Now, stay that. Now, this is a good one. The weight is on both feet, on both toes. Okay, and that's where we're going to stay. We don't do a roll now. There's no roll. Okay, this time let's do the same thing at ease, and we're going to demonstrate the 3 different size tip of the toes. First one we're going to do is a tiny glide step, which will take them about here, okay? And they're going to take 4 steps with a lift and step, a high toe for tiny glide steps, backwards marching. Here we go. This is tiny up on the tip toes. 1, 2, 3. Lift and 1, 2, 3, 4. Close. Try it again. You notice how they keep their head, their shoulders and hips in line as always, and that they're not leaning or bouncing. 1, 2, 3. Lift and back. 2, 3, 4, and close. Okay, back up. This time we'll take a moderate size step, and we're going to go right about out to here, which means they won't be quite, they'll be on the ball of the foot and the heel not as high up on the toe, but on the sort of on the ball of the foot with what I consider a moderate size step. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, lift and back, 2, 3, 4, and close. Okay, good. This time, back up, and let's take a bigger size step. If you have a bigger size step, then we're not high. We'll keep the foot closer, the heel closer to the ground, so in keeping our legs straight but not stiff with a bigger size step. Okay, here we try it again. 1, 2, ready, lift, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and close. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, lift, and 1, 2, 3, 4, close. And you notice how they don't bounce. You got ease. So they're doing a good job on that. Now, that's a lot harder to march and teach this style, okay? And so one thing that's important is that you don't bounce your body, and you keep your legs straight, and you keep your hips and shoulders in line with each other all the time. Now, let's show them another way that we can do backwards marching, which I prefer, because it's basically a reversal of the glide step, where we actually go back and take a step back without coming up on the toes. So what we're going to do is we're not going to do a lift this time. We're simply going to move the left foot back and end up with the weight on both toes. So we're going to take one glide step backwards, but don't roll, okay? So here we go. One glide step and ending up sort of like the Y position, only going backwards. 1, 2, ready, go, and 1. Now, we stay up on the weight on both toes, lift up on both toes, and again, you haven't completed the roll yet, and your shoulders and hips should be in line with each other. Okay, let's try that again. We'll just go to the upside down Y position. 1, 2, ready, go, and 1. Okay, don't lean back yet. See, you got to keep your weight on the weight on both toes yet. Okay, try it again. Now this first step, you want to keep the weight on the balls of both feet. Try it again. 1, 2, ready, go, and 1. There it is. That's it. Okay, now this time, complete the roll. We do one complete glide step back, and we're going to roll from the ball of the foot to a flat foot. But what's important is the front foot stay on the ground. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, lift and roll. Now notice the front foot, the toes pointed. Now pick your toes up. You don't want this to happen. You don't want the toe to come up off the ground. You want to keep it flat. So let's try it again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and glide. There you go. The other thing you don't want to do is lean back. You don't want to lean back on this, but you want to keep your shoulders and hips in line, which they're doing a great job. And again, I want to keep in mind that these students have not been through all these routines, and it demonstrates, realistically how it's going to go with your students when you teach it, because this is unrehearsed. Okay? Let's try it again. One complete glide step backwards. 1, 2, ready, go, and 1. Okay, this time, at ease, we're going to continue. We're going to take 4 steps. Now, what's going to happen is as they step backwards, they're going to kind of drag the foot on the floor or skim the top of the grass if you're on a field. This time we're going to take 4 steps backwards and halt. And this, again, what I call, we're just going to call this backwards glide step. There we go. 1, 2, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and halt. Now, to me, that looks very natural and comfortable. Okay, let's try that again. And I'm so happy that a lot of the drum corps are doing this now, because it is so much more relaxed and very comfortable to do. Okay, one more time with the same thing. 1, 2, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and halt. At ease. Now, I want to keep reminding you now, when it's a fast tempo, in any type of transition, rather than stepping off on the ends of the beat, you have to step off on the beat. Can we do that? Let's try this. Let's go a fast tempo. This time, push off on 4 instead of the end of 4. So we're going to go a fast tempo backwards, 4 counts, unrehearsed. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Push, back, 2, 3, 4, close. We're going to do it again. You see, we're going to fast tempo, so you got to push off on 4. Brackets. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Push, 1, 2, 3, 4, halt. That's it. You see how they had to actually push off that front foot on the preceding count in order to get in time on that first step at ease. Because so many bands, when they transition to the forward march, they are behind the beat on that first step. And that's usually the reason for it. Okay, now let's go back. Now let's do a little variation of this by what we call bicycle. In this case, they're going to do the same thing, only they're going to pick the foot up a little bit, to get kind of a bicycling action. It could even be exaggerated, too, for choreography. So we're going to do the same thing, only now we're going to bicycle a little bit and pick the foot up off the ground slightly. So here we go, backwards march in a bicycle, 4 and halt. 1, 2, ready, go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and close. Good, not bad. Let's do it again. Got brackets? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and halt. And so that just makes it even a little more flashy at ease. And you can even exaggerate that with a higher bicycle if you want, which I've seen some bands do for a little more flash and a little more choreography. Okay. Now, there will be times when first of all, we need to practice moving transition from forward march to backwards march. So this time we're going to go forward march 8, where the regular, let's use the tip of the toe natural step. And we're going to do what's called tendu. Show them what a tendu is. That's the toe pointed. We're going to tendu on the 8th count and hold that position and reverse into the glide steps backwards. So the command here is forward march 4 and backwards march 4. All right? Using the tendu touch step method. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Touch and go. 2, 3, 4, and close. Okay, try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Touch and go. 2, 3, 4, and halt. Okay? At ease. So that's how we transition from forward to march. Now, if it occurs that you have to change direction or step size, then on the tendu, you have to actually lift up on the tendu and lift the back foot off the ground in order to change direction. So in this example, we're going to go forward march 4, and we're going to transition going backwards at a 45-degree angle in this direction, which means they got to actually lift the back foot up off the ground in order to change directions. Okay, so this is going to be forward march 4 and change directions in the backwards marching 45-degree angle to your right. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. There you go, at ease. And so you can practice it in either direction, or changing step size from a small to a big step, and so forth. Okay, so that's real important. Let's see, I haven't forgotten anything. We got everything on that. Okay, I believe that concludes backwards marching, and good luck on working this with your students, but I think any one of these methods will make it easier to develop uniformity and precision and good style.